Good evening. Today, I like to invite you all, those who are watching our show. One is a golfer, and one is our war veteran, war hero of Bangladesh Independence War. He is Colonel Ravi Pathania, and his son, Mr. Mandeo Singh Pathania. Sir, welcome you to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, welcome, Mr. Mandeo.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Okay, to start this show, sir, I'll come to your liberation history and your participation in our battle. I mean, liberation war, not battle, war. So once I come there, I want to show some pictures so that people understand where we are talking and your area of operation. You told me you fought the war for Bangladesh Liberation War in general area Parbotipur, Hilly. So first something I'll hear from you, and then I'll go to show some map, and then we'll again come back. Okay, sir. So to start, sir, I want to know that you have fought the war in 1971 in Bangladesh in a general area called Parbotipur Hilly area. There, it is really our pride that you fought our liberation war. You sustained war injury, and also you lost some of the organs of your body. Sir, just I want to know about your general area. Where was the area that you fought the battle, and how we did, sustain that injury?
Yeah, okay. I'll just give you a preamble. While studying in Agriculture College, Solan, in third year, I joined Army at the age of 20. And I got commissioned in 5 Garhwal rifles on 14th March 71. From there, I was posted to 5 Garhwal rifles located in Hashimara in West Bengal. And we had gone to Bhutan for joint training in the month of June, July. In the month of July, I had gone on annual leave for 2 months. But during that period, there was a broadcast that the leave is cancelled. And after that, I was supposed to go for the Vayos. And I joined back the battalion at Bhutan and came down to Hashimara and were deployed in the area of Sitalkuchi and Falakata, that is the northern portion of Bangladesh. And there we were acting as supporting the Mukti Bahini in the month of August, September, October. And during this period, October, November, we were moved to Raiganj and then hilly area.
Okay.
The first operation, and during this period, I was appointed as IO, that is intelligence officer to the commanding officer.
Okay, sir.
And
sir, I'll come back. I'll come back to your discussion. As you have been uttering the area, let me show some maps so that people understand where it is. It is basically here. If you can see the map in Bangladesh, basically there's some this 10th sector. You're talking about sector number 6, and that is around this map. You'll see this Parbotipur here, and then if you can see some of the rails, this is the Hilly rail station that you covered. Hilly. This is Hilly rail station. Yeah, this is Hilly rail station, Parbotipur. This is another picture. So these are the general area. Again, I'm showing the map. This is the general area in the northwest of Bangladesh. This is the area, hilly area, where you fought the battle. Okay, sir, if you can continue, as you said, and then I will go to your son for golf. Tell me, sir.
Now, when we reached there in the area of Hilly, on 22nd November, I laid the forming up place, that is the FUP, for the company attack to be launched on Basudevpur BOP, that is the outskirts of Hilly area, which was captured the same night, and then the company was deployed there. After having stayed there for a few days, then the battalion was, at that time we were operating under 202 Mountain Brigade. Thereafter, we moved to Raiganj area under 340 Brigade. There I used to go out on patrolling towards Devkhanda railway station. And the area which I had racket, we were to occupy that attack on the Devkhanda railway station. Unfortunately, the area where I had racket was occupied by the Pakistan Army. And before they could attack on to that, the heavy casualties we suffered, and it was withdrawn. After having stayed for about 10 to 15 days, of course, that attack was being supported by the T-63 tanks. We were very heavy tanks. They could not go around with us because of the marshy area. Then recently inducted APCs were there. Of course, they could go around with us, but somehow after some time, then we were moved to another brigade location towards up north towards the Raiganj area. That was under 265 brigade. And having stayed there for a few days, we were then asked to capture an area somewhere near Dinajpur Rangpur Road, the area called Devkhanda. And as it was a morning attack, around 8:30 was the HR. There was a infantry mounted attack. Two companies mounted on PT-76, and two companies are on ground. They were launching attack. Once they near the enemy location, they were fired upon very heavily. We lost two tanks on our left flank. I was standing on the third tank along with my CO. We were five officers, fortunately, unfortunately, on that tank. The commanding officer, myself, the battery commander, the FAC, the Air Force commander, and the tank, the squadron commander.
Okay.
After
Sir.
the enemy had destroyed our two tanks, our tank was also hit on the left flank. Unfortunately, fortunately, that could not pierce through the tank and got blasted outside. That is the time I got the splinters on my left hand. I dropped like a pumpkin, and this was the time when my commanding officer had passed the message on radio set that Pathania is a casualty. Sure enough, next day the telegram of my having been declared dead had reached my home the next day.
Okay.
Having stayed there for about half an hour, I saw someone crawling behind me. I raised my head and saw my commanding officer. The first question I said, Ravi, are you alive? Okay, yes, sir. That's the time that I requested him. I said, you give me the field dressing. I took out my field dressing, which used to carry in the pouches. He wrapped that thing with a banana leaf and all. And thereafter, he tried to control the situation. He moved forward. The FSC gave me the morphine injection to calm down, cool down the pain. And I was asked to go back.
Okay.
Now, it is a God saving. I moved out from that cane field and started crawling toward the dry paddy field. In center, if you remember, in that area, generally in the paddy field, in the center portion, there is a small little ditch for the fish to grow. So I was lying down for a few seconds. Then I think there's a blessing of God. I just moved out of that towards the rear. And sure enough, there was a RT shell which landed at the same pit where I was lying about 2 seconds before. God saved me. Then I started crawling. By then, the stretcher bearer had come to pick me up.
Sir, got that point. We'll come back to you again. You lost your, you sustained a war injury. I want to know, you lost your finger, sir.
Left hand. If you can see my left hand, the portion is chopped off. And the center finger was hanging. This finger is cut. This finger is cut. The hand was cut from the left. It was chopped off. The left portion is totally chopped off.
Sir.
Thereafter, the stretcher bearer came. The moment I was put on the stretcher bearer, and I could hear the bullets flying over my head and behind me, on me, and I could hear the sound, chung, chung. And I asked the boys, I said, drop me here. The enemy was sitting on a treetop. He was taking an aim fire.
So after that, then, you continued your service, or your duty in war, or you fall back to India?
Yes. I then thereafter moved back. There was a RCL gun. That was by the time I got injured around 9:30 or so. By the time I reached the RCL gun, it was 4 o'clock. And by the time they took me to the roadhead, it was around 5:36. It was getting dark. So I was lying in the night.
I want to add a question to you. So that in phases you discuss, so that our audience are also can understand better. Like you
Yeah.
have fought war in general area called Parbatipur, where our Mukti Bahini called Sector 6,
Yeah.
with Wing Commander Khadimul Bashar. He was
That was
operating there. Can you
that was
remember those?
up north. That was
Yeah.
up north near Falakata and Sitalkuchi area.
Okay. Okay.
Four
So
to three fingers.
okay. Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
come back to you again. I'll come back to you again to listen the rest of the part of your story and all. I mean, you what you sustain injury. We are proud for you, sir. Hearing your story, let's our audience be waiting for your next part of the story. By this time,
Okay.
let me talk also to Mr. Mandeo. He is also waiting. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Mr. Mandeo?
Yes, yes, I can
Yes, yes,
hear you.
very loud and clear.
Okay. So now, just I want to hear, as your father was telling the gallantry story and war of our liberation war. So
Yes.
you are a son of him, and then you started playing golf in India in PGTI. You did very good, I know, and then you played in
Thank you.
Asian Tour, and then you left for
Yes.
Canada. So tell your start of
Yes.
your journey.
Well, my story is firstly not as interesting as my father's. Like I wasn't hit in a battle, so mine is a very normal story. So yes, so 2015 I got married. In 2016 and 17 I wanted to play on the PGA Tour. So I actually moved here to try and qualify for the web.com. And the first year that we moved here, I actually landed up at Glen Abbey because they hold the Canadian Open and I wanted to play it. So that's how I got introduced to Glen Abbey. Glen Abbey is Jack Nicklaus's first design, where I coach now. And following the 2 years, I went back to America and tried qualifying for web.com. Once that did not happen, then I turned my focus more towards coaching and going back to India and playing. So for the last 5 years, if you look at the first 2 years, I was based in America and Canada.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years, I've been going back and forth between Canada and India to play.
Okay. So you are basically now playing and also a pro golf trainer, pro
Yes,
golf professional instructor. You
yes.
have
So
you are running
I am associated. Sorry, go ahead.
you are running an academy there in Canada.
Yes, so I am part of an academy which is at Glen Abbey. Like I mentioned, Glen Abbey is Jack Nicklaus's first design. It's one of the most signature golf courses of North America. This is that golf course where Tiger Woods hit that famous shot on the 18th hole. And I am one of the professional golfers who coach here.
Okay. Let me show you a small clip on your swing. I found out from Google and your coach picture. I think you have a wonderful coach named Bob. Yeah, Mr. Bob. What is his full name, by the way?
Yes. No, his full name is Mr. Bob Tosky. And Mr.
The
Bob
one number
Tosky
one.
is from the era of, sorry?
He was former world number one.
Yes, he was world number one in 1956. He's from the era of Arnold Palmer. He's before Jack Nicklaus. He's from Arnold Palmer, Steve Ballesteros. And funnily enough, he was also in the US Army. And he is
So,
93 years old, but he's a very independent, very fiery, very strong old man.
okay.
And I wanted
So
to learn from the best, and I wanted to learn from someone who plays the game. That's why I chose him.
okay, I'll come. Let me show you this clip. This.
Hi, my name is Mandeo Singh Pathania and you're at the Club Link Golf Academy at Glen Abbey. Today, I'm going to give you a small tip to improve your swing arc. Well, the most commonly asked question is what the swing arc should be. Actually, the golf swing is a circular motion with the club around your body. So you go back on the circle, down on the circle, and through. The golf swing is an arc. So the arc begins from a right hand. You go down the arc, you follow the back up, and you finish right there. So let me see that again. So you take your backswing up on the arc, your downswing follows the arc down, and your follow through, it finishes the arc at top of your left shoulder. So this is what it looks like. So you go back on the arc, down on the arc, and follow it. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Why don't you come down to the academy here at Glen Abbey and we'll help you with that. Have a great golfing year ahead.
So we had been watching that video that shows that you are a real professional instructor of golf. So and a lot of video
Yes.
are available online. I just shown that so that our audience, those
Yes.
are golfer, they can watch it. This is some basic, very good lesson for golf, learning golf. And I know a lot of Bangladeshi people are residing in Canada. So it is also one of our aim. After posting your interview schedule, I got many inboxes message in Messenger that to know the location. Can you tell the name of the academy and location of that?
Sure. The golf course is called Glen Abbey, and I am located in Oakville. So the golf course is in
golf
Oakville,
academy,
and the golf course, it's Glen Abbey Golf Academy.
Okay.
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
it in Toronto
yeah.
or which city? That's
Yes. It's just on the outskirts of Toronto. It's called GTA, which is Greater Toronto Area.
okay. So tell us something about.
Yeah.
Are you playing in any kind of professional tour there also beside training? Are you playing any professional tour in Canada?
So I was till last year. In fact, I have also won an event here in Canada. But the plan this year was to play more. But looking at the situations, it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Okay. So
But
what was
sorry,
your
go ahead.
performance in Asian tour? What was your, I mean, just general impression or performance in Asian tour and PGTI once you were in India?
Okay, so in India, I have a few coast records. I tied a coast record at. I created a new coast record at the Tata Open on the Goldbury golf course. The golf course design has changed now, and then I shot a 61 there, which was a coast record till the course was there. Then I shot a 63, which is 9 under at Panchkula at the Huda Open. I won the biggest event in India, the biggest full field event called Crompton Greaves Open in Mumbai. I was known for my long driving average on the Asian tour. I played a few events on the European tour through PGTI, which is Avanta Masters, Indian Open, and Johnny Walker. Yeah, so I had a good time there.
Okay. So you're now a citizen of Canada and settled there, or as an Indian you're staying there?
So I have my PR, which is my permanent residency, because my wife is Canadian. I should be getting my passport soon, but yeah, we'll see where I reside. Like, there's no confirmation that I'm going to stay here, I'm going to stay in India, or I might be in Bangladesh. You never know.
Yeah, it is a global IT village. You're most welcome, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like to fall back to sir because a lot of comments I'm started getting on my audience panel. So, sir, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear
Sir,
you.
as you said that in August you entered to Bangladesh. Now, little bit about the battle itself, war itself. You entered in August 71 through Hilly inside the Bangladesh. You were a second lieutenant or lieutenant that time. You were an intelligence officer. You fought the war like a valiant fighter, and you lost your organs. And also, how many days you stayed inside Bangladesh, and how lengthy the war was, sir? And what all I mean, you against your battalion, what was the Pakistani regiment, or against your division, what was the Pakistani brigade that they were struggling you, or you, I mean, defeated them? When you did defeated them, when you entered, and who all are those Pakistani brigade? Tell us some story.
Right from the beginning, when we were there operating as Mukti Bani, I used to go in lungi and banyan with my caravan with them. I used to take around 8 to 10 boys against the enemy locations, because there was a 3-tier defenses. One ahead was the forward most was the Mukti Bani, followed by BSF, then was the army. So we used to go and do the patrolling. There was no conflict at that point of time. But however, when we reached the hilly area, we captured the Vasudepur BOP, then we moved to different area, and it was in fact that the area in hilly where we could initially, of course, there was a fear of the shells coming left and right, but after about 5 6 days, it was normal that the bullet cannot or shell, you will not die as long as the bullet doesn't hit you, and that too in the chest
Yes.
area. So
Yeah.
we were not scared thereafter. I used to move around whenever you hear the sound of the bomb coming, and used to fly off the different areas. So there was no problem as such. But when we reached this Devkhanda area, and that was the time, it was 14 December when I got injured, and the surrender took place on 16th. I was lying
Oh.
in Raigand hospital. I wanted to go back to the battalion, but some of these people didn't allow me. So I was telling you, narrating the story when I was lying at the on the roadside in the evening around 5:30. Major Pawar came and he kicked me, thinking that I'm no more, as if I'm dead. Actually, I was declared dead initially. Of course, later I of course survived. Then from Raiganj, we were moved to Lucknow, and in that train we were 3 to 4 officers from the same battalion. My commanding officer, who had sustained injury on the left knee, there was a Major Ranjit Singh who had on the right shoulder. There was Major Bajaj whose intestines had come out. There was another captain, the Dwivedi, was also there. Were 4 officers. The same train we went to Lucknow. But Lucknow, once we reached there, it was expected more trains to come, the battle casualty trains. So I was being a walking wounded casualty. I was moved to INHS Ashwani, Bombay, Kolaba. So there I was treated and then came back to the battalion. I did my bios course. Then, of course, I was posted as commando instructor in 78, then continued and all those good appointments. I was Colonel GS Delhi area, Colonel Q of 33 Corps. And during this period when I was Colonel GS Delhi area, can I
Yeah.
narrate something about Mandeo Singh Pathania?
Yeah, you'll narrate that later. But tell me first, when did you retire from Indian Army? How many years did you serve? And where are the cantonments? Where are the bases? Or where the corps? What was the corps? Artillery? You serve in infantry, sir.
I infantry 16 Gadwal rifles. For that time, it was 5 Gadwal
Infantry.
rifles.
Infantry, sir, right. So how many years, sir? When did you retire? And next part of your career?
Okay. I retired in 2005 as Colonel GS 21 Saveria Pathankot. Before that, I was Deputy Commander in Natula in Sikkim border. Then before that, I was Colonel Q of 33 Corps in Siliguri. Before that, I was Colonel GS Headquarters Delhi area for 3 years. Before
Great.
that, DQMG. I did staff course in 84. I was posted at DQMG at Kanpur. And before that, of course, various courses of
So
instructions.
you served for some more than 35 years then.
I did,
2005 and 17.
yeah, 34 years and about 3 months.
Great, sir. Great. It's our honor to see you in such young face. You look so young, sir. I cannot believe
Thank you.
your picture resembles much older than you. Your physical presence, and you talk like a young military leader. Much stronger than my voice, sir. I'm really honored and delighted to see you in this mood. So, what you're doing now?
Yeah.
What you're doing now, sir? How you're keeping
I'm
wild?
in organic farming. You know, I'm
sir.
producing the grains I mean, without the use of any chemicals, no dia, no urea, no chemical spray. I'm making my own fertilizer, own sprays out of cow dung and cow urine, and the vegetables and everything is totally natural cultivation type and very tasty. When you come
In
to India,
Himachal.
it will take you taste.
Is it in Himachal Pradesh, sir?
Yes, it is in the Himachal Pradesh foothill of Kangra district.
Okay, great. You're talking right from there now with me.
Yeah, I'm at the farm only.
Great, sir. Sir, so I'll come back to Mandi's story that you had been trying to tell. We'll listen to that later, but let Mande speak first, and then I'll come to you. What Mande says, what is about his now present condition in Canada, what he's doing in about his golf instructorship and other things, and then I'll come back to you. So you said, Mr. Mande, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you said you are now in Canada, outskirts of Toronto. You are involved with academy, golf academy rather. So as I understand, you are teaching young. I mean, what is the type of player? Any type of player, amateur, may it be young, or may it be professional player. Anyone can take training in your academy. And did your coach?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I coach everyone. My youngest student is 3 years old, and my oldest student is 82 years old. So I coach anyone and everyone. I ran a few junior programs. Now we cannot run many programs because of COVID. We don't want groups. So now I run groups of maximum 3 kids, and then I do group clinics of elder people. I do course lessons. I have some professional golfers. I have some amateur golfers, some junior golfers. Some people just take lessons because golf is very different here than it is back in Asia, especially in India. Golf is a very recreational sport. It's like cricket in Bangladesh and
India.
India. Like everybody just plays the sport. And with the whole situation of what is happening with coronavirus and COVID, golf is actually a sport which has gone up because others cannot play team sports. Kids
Mm,
cannot go to tennis classes or soccer classes. So golf has actually picked up a lot after the whole COVID. Coming back
great,
to my academy, I'm actually associated with a golf course called Glen Abbey, as I mentioned, which is a
mm,
part of a company which owns about 50 golf courses called Club Link. And
great.
yes, so I'm associated with a good company, and I
So
basically do what I used to do.
I wanted to know about your that renowned world number one coach that he trained you, he taught you the golf. So did he help you to
Yes.
work in the academy, or what? How, what is the relation with him now? Link with him? Do you have any link?
Oh, the link is great. He's a very fiery, old, enthusiastic. He's also from the army, like I mentioned, and he's ex world number one. So the mind frame of a professional golfer, of a coach, and of a player are two very different things. I was
Mhm.
honored to learn from someone who was on top of the world. It's like someone learning from Tiger in today's time and date. So when you get to meet or when you get to interact with people like this, they make you understand that this game is not physical at all. It is what happens between your ears, which is what happens in your mind, is going to be directly correlated to what happens to you physically. So control your mind, you control your body.
Great tips you have given.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to
Yeah.
know again about your that. What do you have any playing? You said you have playing experience in Canada, but I want to know about Canada professional golf, Canadian professional golf. Like they have a circuit called Mackenzie, so far I know, and they have Canada
Yes,
PGA.
I've played. Yeah, yes. So there are two tours here. One is the Mackenzie Tour, which I have played on, and then the other one is PG of Canada, which I have won on. I won the event on PG of Canada. Uh,
Great.
Both these tours, the PG of Canada is not so big, or the Mackenzie Tour is much more bigger.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Tour is associated with the web.com. Now, web.com is the first tour which you get onto before you get onto the PGA Tour.
Right. Now it has
Uh,
taken over by some other company. Web.com tour has been taken over. Some
uh,
yeah,
Charles
yeah.
Schwab, I think.
No, that is the Conferry.
Yes.
Conferry.
Corn Ferry Tour. Yes, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Corn Ferry.
Uh,
So the Mackenzie Tour comes right after Corn Ferry. So it's the PGA Tour, then
yeah.
it's the Corn Ferry Tour, and then you come down to the Mackenzie Tour.
Yeah. They have many weightage like world ranking. If you come talk about the Conferry and Mackenzie, almost equivalent 14 points, just equivalent to Asian Tour even. If you play Asian
Yes,
Tour, the
yes.
points you get the same point in Mackenzie and Conferry. Yeah, very wideful tour. This tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and these
So,
tours are very different. All the young college people of the American universities come and qualify here if they don't get onto Corn Ferry. So very
yeah.
competitive.
Yeah.
Obviously, the season in Canada is not as long as the season in America or in Asia. So I think they have 12 events, but it's a decent tour to start.
Yeah. So while as you said, American college golf people, I have one of my son there, right there in Alabama State University, now playing in NCAA
Oh,
Division One.
great!
So he may
Oh,
be traveling to your
wow,
Canada for playing Mackenzie Tour.
that is
That's why.
great.
That's how
So
his
he's
son.
in NCAA Division One.
Yeah, in Alabama. So he has some friends from Canada whom I have interviewed before a few days. He played in
Okay.
Mackenzie Tour, and so he from Canada but based there in America now, studying with him. So my son also
Oh, that's
maybe
great.
traveling in future to your Mackenzie Tour, just to inform. That's great.
NCAA first division is the highest level of
Yeah,
golf a junior can play. So I
yeah,
have
he has
high
got,
hopes from your son. That is
he
very
has
good.
the he's the very few from Asia. Another two is there. One is from Indonesia and one is from perhaps Thailand. So there are three at now for last 3
I'm
years in
sure
the,
he's the only one ever from
from
Bangladesh,
Bangladesh.
right? I
Yeah,
don't think
he's the
anyone
only
else
one.
has reached there.
Nobody else. Nobody
Yes,
else.
that's congratulations.
And his name is Afnan Mahid. Why I'm telling it, because he has achieved 100% scholarship. Now he's getting 100% every month. So that is like you
That
also
is
played, yeah. So he'll be
that's
playing maybe.
awesome.
He's now only 20,
That is
19.
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
very impressive. Very good.
keep him in your play. Hopefully in future
Yeah, yeah,
he will.
sure,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, sir.
yeah.
Can you hear us, sir? Can you hear us, sir? Can we come back to you
Yeah,
again?
I can hear you. Yeah.
So I think your audio. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Sir. So tell us now something about yourself. You said about your career. You retired in 2005, and now you're doing your own business. So
Yeah.
you're settled in Himachal. You fought
Yes.
our war. You liberate us. You liberate Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So we are always grateful to India and people like you. And of course, our Mukti Bahini also took part, stood beside you. So a lot of audience have started throwing some comments. Let me read few of those. Mr. Jagabandhu Rai, sir, have you visited Bangladesh? Nikhil from India, PGTI, 14 Bangladesh Liberation War. I know Mr. Nikhil Singh has his father in army, his in-law in army, his uncle in army. So I think you know Mr. Mande, you know him, Nikhil.
Yeah, I know Nikhil very well. Actually, yeah, Nikhil and I are more than friends now. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So
yeah.
only wish that I get someday the other heroes from India in our other show called Security Bangladesh. So, but I have to bring Sir here because you are there. Otherwise, I could take Sir in other show. Okay, Nikhil Singh 14 Bangladesh. Okay, then your advice for Bangladesh golf, I'll listen to from you, Mandeo later. But now for Sir, JP Sharma is saying hi, my Manu, and hello, uncle. So, sir, so tell us something about your. Now you've been telling how this your son grew up, because I have also served in army for 20 years. Though I look also young like you. So, sir, how did you bring this son that now is a talented guy playing in Canada, settled in Canada?
Okay. Once I was posted as Khal GS Delhi area, this boy was put in the Mount St. Mary School, and in 1 year or so, he was playing all the games with excellence. You talk about football, volleyball, basketball, tennis, shooting. Even he played DLTA tennis. He was good at shooting also. He played good in athletics everywhere. So one day I saw him sweating, and he was totally used to spend a lot of time on games. So I asked him, I said, "What are you playing now?" He says, "Cricket." So he was very good in cricket also. But one day I just, I learned, I picked up my golf in 92 when I was, when I was commanding the battalion in Tinsukia in the Assam sector.
Assam.
So
I
then,
know, sir. I know
yeah,
Tinsukia, sir, because I have visited number of times in Digboy to
yeah,
conduct
yeah,
PTA.
Big Boy is the course where I picked up the golf course I started playing for the first time.
Oh, sir, I have visited there
Margreta,
thrice.
yeah, Margreta, Dick Boy,
Do you
Dibrugarh,
play now, sir?
Tinsukia.
Do you play?
Yeah, pardon?
Do you play now golf?
Yes, yes, of course.
What is
At
your
this
handicap? Let me check
I've
with me.
been reached to a single handicap in Leh Ladakh when I was playing,
Oh
but now it
God,
is 12 to
I'm
14 now because because I'm not playing for the last 1 year. So I played a
Sir,
lot of
you
golf
reached
in Canada
single
with
handicap,
Mandeo.
single digit, and I could not reach even. I mean, I reached only 15. My lowest handicap is 15. I could not.
Now it is around
I,
14, 15. Now it is around 14, 15.
oh
Anyway, so
my God, sir,
once,
wonderful, wonderful. So,
when,
how was that
when I,
experience in Dubai?
pardon?
Yeah, you had been telling about Tinsukia. Go ahead with that, sir.
Yeah, then after Tinsukia, of course, when I was posted in Delhi area, so this boy, once he came back to the school, oh, he was sweating and he used to come very late. I asked him, he says he's playing cricket. So he used to spend 4 to 5 hours after school time and he used to play cricket. So one day I gave him one my number 9 club. Just taught him the swing at home and I
Okay,
said, you carry on. And
okay.
after a few days, he was hitting very well. So one day there was a Gurvaksh stadium. So I took him to the stadium. I gave him the driver. I found this boy was hitting better than my swing. He was excellent. I gave him. I
Uh,
mean, then I took him. I said, "You, the golf is yours. This thing, you take it." Then he got interested in golf, and then during that time, I had a ping jing set. Recently, I mean, of course, the second hand I bought from one General Sabharwal at
yeah,
time 32,000
as all
rupees.
defense officers do.
So I gave him,
Uh,
and at the age of 13,
uh,
he won almost all the tournaments of Army Golf Course Dhalakua, and poor chap was banned for next year because the senior officer didn't want the dependent member to play and participate in the tournament. Nevertheless, he carried on, and of course, he was not allowed to participate in any tournaments, but he continued. And after 12th class, I said, "What is your done?" After 12th, he got admission in St. Xavier College. But they, based on that, he defeated one or two the nationals in athletics competition. You have the pre-selection, running, racing, and all those things.
Saint
So he was
Stephen's.
selected.
Saint Stephen.
Saint Stephen. So but they said
Yeah.
you can't play golf while you're studying here. He said nothing doing golf is my bread and butter hereafter. So he
mm,
then there was a JP Greens, Colonel Bhattacharya. We were together in Army Golf Course. So he
Colonel
joined him
Bhattacharya,
there.
sir, Colonel Bhattacharya from Calcutta.
Ah,
Yes.
yes, he's from
Yeah,
Calcutta, settled in
yeah.
his two
Now in,
sons, one
he's settled in
Navy.
Delhi.
Yeah, settled in Delhi.
Yes.
He's
I
serving in some Pinkerton, or he used to serve in Pinkerton sometimes. Uh,
No, actually, it is a golden. Uh, what is that
I
name
know,
of the
sir, maybe
some
Colonel
company there?
Bhattacharya
I also
serving
worked with
from,
him.
once upon a
Golf
time he used to serve in
construction company, Silver Grade.
Pinkerton and maybe in Control Risk.
No, I'll tell you, Silver Glade Golf Course Construction Company.
Uh-huh.
Then I worked with him for 1 year.
Mhm.
I mean, we used to construct golf courses, and that was the time in 2009 where there was a recession in the world market. All golf course constructions were
Mm.
stopped, and I then had to leave. And I came here, started my hotel, worked there for. There's a small little cottage, hotel resort in Dharamshala Nadi, and I
Mhm.
left that. Now I'm working here. So
Okay.
this is what is
Okay.
my time is.
This is what Mandeo has become a
Yeah,
golfer now in Canada.
yeah. There are, of course,
Great.
during that time when I was posted in Sikkim,
Mm.
no, in Siliguri after my collegiate tenure, he was I think 13, 14 years. There was a tournament in Mumbai. So this
Okay.
small boy carrying a pink set, he
Mm.
landed there with no address.
Mm.
Fortunately, he saw one Gadwali boy putting on lanyard. He tacked on with him, and then he could reach the MCO. There was a chap. Then he took him to that. There was a friend of mine. Then how he played first tournament there as a youngster. But
Mm.
there was no money for him. I mean, I couldn't send the money, but his sisters,
Mm.
they collected money and they got his reservation.
Mm.
I was not there. My wife was also there with me in Siliguri, and
Mm.
these girls both they collected money for him, and he
Great.
pushed off
Great.
to Mumbai. I mean,
So
this is
you,
the interest he's
sir,
shown.
okay, sir. Great. Now I'll ask you some personal question. How many
Right.
children you have? Beside him, how
I've
many sons and daughters?
I've got one son, two daughters. My elder daughter, she is in Hong Kong. Second
Yeah.
daughter is in Delhi, and son, of course, is in Canada.
Only this son, no other son.
No, 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 no.
Okay, sir. Sir, great. Now tell me, are you getting the soldier, like in Bangladesh, in other countries, we have DHS, we call the defense officers, retired officers, residential area. Didn't you get in Delhi or any other place this facility of residential facility?
I never tried, I've never been offered some, so I don't know. Because
Oh,
there is a provision, I believe, if I have to apply,
uh-huh.
once the Bangladesh government calls you, invites you, that is based on the recommendation of the army headquarters. So if I approach my unit, I
Uh-huh.
wanted this year, but because of the coronavirus, I have not applied. Next year,
Okay.
probably I'll apply. The army headquarters will then send the list to the Bangladesh government, and once
Yeah, yeah.
then they will invite.
It
Or
is a
else,
separate
if you
program. Yeah,
invite,
of course, you'll come, sir. I know, I know. Every year, war heroes of India, those who took part in Bangladesh Liberation War, they're invited. They travel to Bangladesh every year twice during Independence Day and our Declaration Day in
okay,
26 or on 16 December, any of
right.
the day. So I'm sure that someday you'll come. Please let us know. We will host you. Number one. Number two, I wanted to know, sir, about your like benefit, officers benefit, pension benefit. Did you get the houses and all, house scheme and all?
No, no.
You did not get it from
No, it
India.
is there. It is there, but there is a. You see, my the disability is 50%. So
No, no.
if there's a
I wanted to know,
advantage,
to get a house and or land for after retirement.
no, 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 no. I actually wanted the. There is a preference given in AWHO, Army Welfare Housing Organization, but there was
Uh,
no preference given since I am a walking wounded. My casualty,
okay.
the disability was less, so they didn't consider me. Nothing that sort. I mean, it is
No, no,
okay.
but sir,
But I
as a
got
serving officer like me, after serving 15 years, 16 years, I applied and I got a residence in housing area of army. Didn't you get anything like that?
No, I have
It,
applied for Army Hub. That is on the you make your own payment and you register
uh,
yourself. I mean, you get that. But I
but
get
let me.
disability pension. I get disability pension. It's okay, good.
Okay, sir. Sir, great to know all this, sir. Sir, please stand by. I'll come back to you again. Let me bring Mandeo. So he's our son. So let him also talk to him. Mandeo.
Okay.
So you can listen to
Yes,
us. You can hear us, huh?
yes, yes,
Okay. So tell us
yes,
something
yes.
about your advice for Bangladesh professional golfers, and then or those who are listening to us. Okay. By the
Yeah.
here I JP who has joined us. Thank you very much, JP, Nikhil, Jagamundura, and all. He wants to know your experience in CG Open. Your experience in CG Open first.
Yeah. Okay, so CG Open is the Crompton and Greaves Open. Now, first of all, it happens in Mumbai, and I have a very deep connection with Mumbai because that was the first tournament I played as a junior. If you look at the stats, I've actually made most of my golfing money in Mumbai, and I won the biggest event there. And CG Open was just great. I had a very consistent few years on PGTI, 2008, 9, and 10. I think I did not miss a single cut in 3 years on PGTI, and the competition was getting strong. I had just lost to Anirban at Panchkula. I had shot a 61. I shot a 63. So the victory was around the corner, and well, I had a good team. I had a good caddy. I had a great coach. I was working with Romit Bose then,
Oh,
and
great.
like being on PGTI, I think that's been the biggest difference in my life. So CG being the banner event of PGTI, it's like one of the majors we have, and winning that event was great because it's the heftiest event. It was I remember it was 80 lakhs that year, and it was the biggest event. So uh, it just came to me at the right time.
So you own number of PGTI then? How many PGTI you took into your bag, and also Asian Tour?
Sorry,
Did you? How many PGTI win you have?
I just have one PGTI win.
Great, CJ. Yeah, I also know about this. Great event, very big event.
Yeah,
And see, it records your
yeah.
performance. Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us something as I asked, like advice for our junior, like my son and those who are watching the show, for developing more in the golf, what they should do, because you have gone little far. You have reached in such stage that you are in a stage to talk about what should be the advice for professional
Yes.
golfers of Bangladesh.
So basically, for all the professional golfers of Bangladesh, PGTI is a great, great stepping stone. Like, look where people have come out of there, like in the golf industry, or not even in the golf, like playing wise or teaching wise, both. So you have Shubhankar, who's a pure product of PGTI. You have Anirban, who always come through PGTI. So PGTI is a great, great stepping stone. You can financially make good money to play on bigger tours. Plus, if you are a member of PGTI in good standing, and if you play well on PGTI, staying at home, you can play events on the Asian tour, you can play events on the European tour, you can get you can get world ranking points. So I would suggest all the Bangladesh players should come and play as much PGTI. We've had so much success with Bangladesh players like Siddiqur Rahman. What a great ambassador of golf he is to Bangladesh. Uh, I mean, his story is just next level, right? Like he's not even a big guy. He's a short guy, very humble, comes from a very mediocre background, and he just took the world by storm.
Do you know anyone
Uh,
else
so
besides?
I
Do you know
besides,
any?
sorry.
Do you know anyone else besides Siddiqur from Bangladesh?
Oh yeah, Zamal Hussain Mola is like my brother from another mother.
Great.
He's a very nice kid. Always like he's grown up well. He's always happy, always smiling. Then there used to be
Why did you
Mohammad
find
Sayyum, who
Jamal?
used to hit the
Yes,
ball.
I mean, yeah, Saim is
Sorry?
there. Why did you find Jamal? Because Jamal, did he play in 2009-10? Did he used to play?
Yeah, yes. Jamal and I played a lot together. So I used to play on PGTI till 2016.
Okay. Now I got the point. I got it. And
Yeah, so
Sayum, Sai- yeah.
2006 to 2016.
Okay. Saim
Sayum
also you.
came and disappeared. Then there was another Sohail.
Suel, yeah, Suel is there still playing in Asian Development Tour. He
Yeah,
has own
yeah, yeah,
Asian
yeah.
Development. And Saim also doing good. He's a long hitter. He attained a scholarship in Australia for hitting long, and he became fast in Australia hitting driver. And then he's still
Really?
playing. Yeah, it is, and he is doing good. But his long shots are good. Still, he's playing. Still,
I
he's
know, I know.
around PPGA
I
and
know.
PGTI.
I have
Yeah,
I have played enough with him, and I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly.
yeah, he's very good guy.
Yeah,
Very-
he's very strong also. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
he-
fun to be around. So yes, so I think what Bangladesh and India are doing, especially with Bangladesh Golf and PGTI joining hands together.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I couldn't come to Kandy. I've only played at the one and only golf course there
in
in
Kurmitola.
I forget the golf course name. Kurmitola. That's the
Kurmitola.
only Kurmitola golf course.
Dhaka.
Yeah, Kurmitola, and it is unbelievable how great that design is. I mean, it's a very
That was in
short golf course, but
2012.
like
When did you play? In 2010, 12, or when?
I played every year till it was
Okay,
there from 2006 to 2016. Every year.
okay. Great. Well, the PGTA
Yeah,
events.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
great.
Yes,
At
all
least
the
you play.
PGA events, and yeah. And what Bangladesh is doing with coordination with the Asian Tour is also great. Gives them a great opportunity. And I think if Bangladesh Golf and Professional Golf Tour of India, the way it's been going, like how Professional Golf Tour of India has provided such a good platform to anyone and everyone, even for
Yeah,
Siddiqur. Siddiqur is basically on the
yeah,
Asian Tour through PGTI.
PGTA. Yeah,
So
it is.
every professional golfer, if we want to take a stepping stone, look into the collaboration with Bangladesh Golf Association and PGTI. And for all those who are getting into the game, just stay a little away from the high technicality which is out there. Like I see so many juniors dependent on technology. Like everybody wants TrackMan, everybody wants a body track, everybody wants a flight scope. And the moment you take away these gadgets from you, they have no feel. So I've actually
Okay,
seen more kids and more juniors being spoiled because of technology than people who've learned well.
great.
So,
Yeah. So
like
you
trained
yeah,
hand and eyes are better than depending on technology. I mean,
good.
if you have everything right, but in the back nine of a golf tournament, if your grip becomes tight due to pressure or due to your lack of mental strength, technology
Mm,
is not going to help you. So stay
okay.
away from technology, generate more hand and eye coordination, create more feel that will take you further.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, do you have anything else to say for our golfers? As you were saying, they should avoid technology. Of course, they should use, but it should not be dependent on. Always, they should not depend on that. As you said, very correctly said. This is really required for a professional golfer or whatever a golfer level he is. And what else our professionals should do? What is your advice to
Well,
develop the game?
why? How I had an advantage over a lot in this game over a lot of people is because I was always strict about my fitness. In fact, I still am. I see that that is one part of the game that could be worked way more on that it is currently. Like people don't take fitness and diet so seriously, and if you look at people with long careers, they've always been motivated to stay fit and eat fine because at the end of the day, if you are physically stronger, it's an advantage. And at the end of the day, if you have a cleaner and a good lifestyle, you can play this game till you're 65 years old. I would say work a little bit on your strength, work a little bit on your stability, eat as clean as you can. Uh, yeah, and don't be technology dependent. Like use technology for an advantage, but don't be dependent on technology for everything and anything you do.
Okay, okay. Those are very few good points from you, Mr. Jai Sharma, Mr. Prabhas Thakur. Yeah, Prabhas has joined. Hi, everyone. And JP wants to know your experience in first year during Q school, and others I have covered. So, do you have any point on Q school first year?
Yes, so the web.com qualifying school, it was web.com when I went. It's Corn Ferry now. It's
Uh-huh.
basically a reality check. The only thing is till the time you don't step out and like for me, I wanted to try how good I am or what's the highest limit
You
or
want to know
I can test
maybe school
myself.
in India, Q school in India.
Oh, he's talking sorry, can you ask the question again?
Yeah, this is the your experience during Q school in India, PGTI.
Oh, so JP is being naughty here. I mean, he's there was a very funny incident that happened. So on my first qualifying, I came to Pune for the qualifying, and then I had a bad back nine on the third day or the second day. I don't even remember now. And I left my scorecard because obviously we were angry young men. So I left my scorecard on the table and I left and I had forgotten to put in the 18th hole score,
Okay.
and I got disqualified. And then JP's like, "You're disqualified." I was like, "Oh, what do I do now? I can't play." He's like, "No, you can't play." So then I figured out there was another gentleman who used to run Ambi Valley Golf Course, Colonel Sinha.
Okay.
So he then I used to ask him for sponsor spots, and I used to play every event on PGTI on a sponsor spot because I was disqualified from the professional golf tour of PGA then
Okay.
because I did not fill in the scorecard. And JP always reminds me about it. So every time I have a scorecard in my hand and I see JP's face, I always think, "Oh my God, I'm going to be disqualified." So that is something which is going to stick with me with life. Thank you, JP, so much for reminding me again. And my father being online.
Okay. Thank you. Let me bring sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you hear you? Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, yes, I can hear you all.
Sir, we are almost at the end of the show. Sir, your advice for the junior officers of Bangladesh Army and also leaders of Bangladesh Army, as you are war veteran, you served long in Indian Army. We are almost similar army, and your contribution always is taught in Bangladesh Army. Your dedication, contribution, your tactics, your strategy while fighting the war, fighting the battle was our lessons, daily lessons in our learning techniques. So, can you share us something? Can you tell us something, the advice for junior officers of India and Bangladesh?
Right. If you have to do better in your life, you have to trust and live with the troops. That's the most important. You must know each and every individual and their family. If I can just quote you, when I joined the battalion, I was put in the section, the normal section of infantry section. Then I was made section commander. Then I was made platoon havaldar. Then I was made platoon commander. Then I was made company havaldar, quartermaster havaldar. You know that, and I stayed in the barracks along with the men in Hashimara. No, that is the thing. Then you have to understand the psychology of your men you are commanding. So you have to do as per your wish, but must consider the administration of the boys. Never ever take share of your men. I was very ruthless as a commanding officer. Any person who had, miscalculated or misused the army, whether it is a clothing, whether it is a ration for their self-consumption, I used to get after this junior commissioned officers and havaldars and also. I
So you
never
used to also
punished.
call, you used to
I
also call
never
Jesse the
punished.
juniors.
Yeah, I never punished a Jawan because he
Okay.
is true. And any person who tells lies, I never spared him. So that is the thing. You have to, build your confidence. If you are true to yourself, men will trust you. Even if I go to battalions today, they hear the old stories. They really love me. Of course, I've seen 5 Gadwal, 13 Gadwal, 16 Gadwal I commanded. And it is your work, it's your karmas that speak. There is no selfishness. I never worked for my ACR. I worked for the battalion. That is, one
Sir,
should understand
sir,
the motive of your life is, as
sir,
long as you are doing your job sincerely, honestly, with full dedication, God will look after you. There is
sir,
nothing. I mean,
sir,
you are the
thank you,
most
sir.
satisfied person on the earth.
Sir,
If you look after your men, they will save you during the war. You sweat with them, they will save your blood. Can you believe when Second Lieutenant JJS Rane died in Dangapara railway station operation? Three boys of the companies, they lost their life to extricate his body from the paddy pit. Now that is the comradeship and your confidence in the boys, that they should die for you rather than, trying to escape for themselves. There are people, those who do not do or will follow this, they suffer at long stage.
sir,
You
great,
have
sir,
to
great,
trust them,
sir,
confidence, confide with them, help them, know their family, know their job, know their problems, solve their problems. I went to interiors at the when I was posted in the Garhwal Rifle Center to all the war widows of that area in 72 when I was posted after my category. So that is how you develop that part, that type of confidence that this people will also talk. Yes, this man is the one who's caring for you. Yeah, that
sir,
is the thing. One has to look after your men and remain in touch with them throughout, whether competition, whether it's a MMG competition, pioneer competition, football competition, participate with
right,
every game. In any
right.
game, you play with them. So that's how they love it. They love you.
Sir, tell us something then about golf. How armies, Indian Army contributed Indian golf, and we are also doing the same.
I'm sorry to say, some people are very rude. They say, I was used to play as a commanding officer. One of my senior brigadier, somewhere in the center, he said, Ravi, as a commanding officer, can you afford time to play golf? No, that's the mindset of some people. Some people
Oh,
love it. Some
yeah,
generals, they used to call me, Ravi, I want to
yeah,
play golf with you. There's some
yeah.
generals, they hate you. In Delhi area, the
Yeah.
deputy GOC didn't know how to play golf. The GOC didn't know how to play golf. They never liked my playing golf there during that period. So there are mixed variety of people. Those who
But sir,
love golf, those
one
who
thing,
hate
sir,
golf.
one thing, sir, one thing like maximum. Now I find among many top PGTI players like Anirban, Shubhankar, Veer, many are like another one, Pratap Singh Harja, or many are coming young from army background, young
Yes,
leading
yes.
PGTI. So
You know, the facility is
how
available.
army how is supporting golf in India?
Yes, what happens is whenever you're posted in some place, there are army golf courses in each station. So that
Okay,
is the stepping stone for the children to learn golf, which is not so easily available in the civil market. There are courses in the civil, but they're very costly. Where, as far
okay,
as army golf courses are concerned, they're all over the country, and the
okay.
army children, they take advantage of it and they learn and they spend time there, and that's how they get encouragement to play golf.
Great, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Let me, for the last time, bring Mr. Mandeo. Mandeo, if you have specially about the name and location again of your academy, so that our audience, lot of audience logged in, and then if you finish, if you have
Sure.
anything, if you want to say anything about your academy or anything.
Oh, no, no. So feel free to call me. You can just Google me. I have a website called mandeopathania.com. Or if you just Google Mandeo Golf, you will find me. The academy again is called Glen Abbey Golf Academy. It's in a city called Oakville. It's Jack Nicklaus's first design, and it's the home of golf to Canada. So if you live in Canada, if you look up Glen Abbey, if you put my name, you'll have all my information. Feel free to call me. I will help you in all forms, in all ways as I can. And I have a lot of good Bangladeshi friends, and then look forward to hearing, messaging, talking, seeing. Anyone and everyone is welcome.
Thank you very much. Sir, your last word. I'll look forward to bring you again in my security show with another war hero separately. But today I could not fulfill could not hear your all story. People are writing that we want to hear from Sir Colonel Ravi Pathania more story on Liberation War. So I'll invite you later again in separate episode. Now tell me for the last time your experience and if you have anything to say for us.
Yeah, I love to visit that area where I fought and where I got injured. I would love to go and visit that area. That is my desire before I get
Yeah.
go up.
Okay,
So
sir. Definitely.
it
Once
all
you are
depends.
invited by Indian or once you come to Bangladesh, by next 1 or 2 years, you don't come, please contact me. I'll host you. I'll host you. I give you word because I like your
Okay.
words. I'll take you down to Hili, not Bangladesh, because I was there for a long time in Soyadpur cantonment. You know that cantonment, I think. So and Parbatipur, there is another cantonment now developed there. But I was posted in Soyadpur cantonment beside Parbatipur for more than 5 years. So I know the area that where you fought the war. So hopefully in future you'll come to Bangladesh as part of delegation team, war battalion team. That time I'll meet you, sir. I'll host you. Thank you very much for your wonderful advice, especially left for us. You told something extraordinary required for a military officer, for that matter, any leader, business leader in any company, in any institution. The words you spent for us today is really learning for us. Thank you very much, Mandeo. The words also you spent,
Thank you,
that is
Bijay. Thank you so much.
those are very
Thank you very much for
required.
giving me this opportunity to talk to you. I mean,
Sir,
great feeling for myself. I think that I'm still fighting war there in Bangladesh.
wish you all the best, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Good
Okay.
evening.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Bijay.
Good evening. I end it here, sir. Good evening.